Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start our today's discussion. And before we start our presentation and Q&A session, I would like to mention that this event is organized by Latvian Transatlantic organization in cooperation with NATO's Public Diplomacy Division and Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. And the audience here today is not composed only by Latvians, but we also have here representatives from Estonian Atlantic Treaty Organization and also Lithuanian Atlantic Treaty Organization. So we have quite international, to be more precise, probably Baltic audience here. So the topic of today's discussion is smart defense. And for quite some time, this topic is really one of the hottest in international security debate. And Mr. Rasmussen, I remember that in 2006, when you were still Prime Minister of Denmark, you gave a very impressive speech on globalization. And it was a joint press conference with our president at that time, Vārvīķa Freiberga. And I was really surprised about your national perspective on globalization, which was very difficult to separate where is national and where is global. So now you are sitting, let's say, in a different chair, and now you are representing a very global organization in terms of security. So therefore, I can't find really more examples or explanations why you should address this issue. Please, the floor is yours.
Professor, thank you very much for that kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to be in Riga today. Today I have participated in the commemoration of the barricades, and it was a very moving ceremony, as you all know. My very first visit to Riga took place 21 years ago. Only a few months after these events, there were still shooting holes in governmental and parliamentary buildings. I was Minister of Economic Affairs of Denmark at that time and wanted to engage with my Latvian counterpart for political reasons, because we wanted to demonstrate a strong political support for the independence of Latvia and the other Baltic states, and economically because we wanted already right from the outset to promote economic cooperation between our countries. As you can imagine, it was a moving experience for me. The economy was weak, but the spirit was very strong. So against that backdrop, it was, of course, a very special thing for me today, as Secretary General of NATO, actually to participate in commemoration of those who lost their lives on that day in January 1991. And a lot has been achieved in Latvia and the other Baltic nations since then, and I'm very impressed by what you have achieved. And I'm also pleased to have been in a position to take part in that process in a very active manner. First as Prime Minister of Denmark, holding the rotating presidency of the European Union in the second half of 2002. In December 2002, we took the historic decision to enlarge the European Union. Later, we took the decision to expand NATO, and today Latvia and the other Baltic nations are highly valued partners within the European Union and NATO. It is an extraordinary development, and it's really a privilege to have been a witness to that development. Soon after your country and your Baltic neighbors regained independence, you made membership of NATO a key foreign policy objective. and you became some of NATO's most active partner countries already in the 1990s. And you were able to join the alliance together at the start of this century. In recent years, you have experienced the worst economic recession in Europe. Yet, all three Baltic countries continue to show great dedication to NATO, and you have maintained your commitment to the alliance. You have kept up your contribution to our common endeavor to ensure that Afghanistan will never again be a safe haven for terrorists. You have opened your ports and railways to allow essential supplies to transit to NATO in Afghanistan, and you are helping to develop NATO expertise in cyber defense and energy security. Just as the Baltic countries remain committed to NATO, so NATO remains committed to its Baltic allies. As you know, NATO aircraft patrol your skies. NATO supports the modernization of your forces, and NATO continues to guarantee your freedom, your security, and your independence. Together, all 28 NATO member countries are actively engaged in delivering peace and stability across the Euro-Atlantic area. And working with partner nations and organizations, the alliance is building security in Afghanistan, in Kosovo, and off the coast of Somalia. Last year, we protected the innocent people of Libya and prevented a massacre. So, put simply, when it comes to security and stability, NATO succeeds. As Estonians, Latvians, and Lithuanians have shown throughout history, freedom takes courage, commitment, and capability. We owe it to future generations to make sure that those values stay at the heart of NATO, and that our alliance remains capable of standing up for those values and defending them. In these tough economic times, that is a particular challenge. Business as usual is simply no longer an option. We all have to learn how to do more with less. It's not enough to look at how much we spend on defense. Every NATO ally must take a very careful look at how well they spend. This means thinking twice before we spend once. It means prioritizing, specializing, and cooperating with allies to get the maximum effect from every cent that we spend. It is what I call smart defense. And it will be a key issue for our next NATO summit in Chicago in May. Our Chicago summit will be a crucial summit at a crucial time. We have to make NATO fit to face the security challenges of tomorrow while we deal with the economic challenges of today. That means moving forward on crucial capabilities such as missile defense. It means putting new energy into our relations with Russia and with other partners, old and new. It means agreeing how we will continue to support Afghanistan as we transfer our lead security role. And it means agreeing how we maintain our military effectiveness as we cut costs and how we share the defense burden more fairly. Ladies and gentlemen, in face of today's security challenges, no nation can afford to go it alone. And in NATO, no nation is alone. Our alliance has stood the test of time, and has been the best security investment ever made. At our Chicago summit, we will take the decisions to ensure that even in an age of austerity, NATO can continue to deliver by reinforcing the vital transatlantic partnership between Europe and North America, by adopting smart defense as our way of doing business, and by recognizing the benefits of cooperating with partners. This is indeed a very demanding agenda, but it's an agenda that will help NATO to continue to guarantee your freedom and your security. Now that's something well worth working for, and I count on your support in helping to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.